I'll do that while we're going.
There's really no equipment that I need off the list. We'll just keep it in the...
Yeah.
Where is the list?
It's now on the Explorer.
It's on the Explorer
Which
for
is in the
the
character
I
sheet
already-
section.
the stuff that we found.
And the mount.
Yeah, I already removed the stuff that I took, so.
And I did as well.
Okay.
But let me...
So if you're taking that Dralicite albedo suit, better grab it before someone else does.
And the equipment that Angel was looking at getting in general,
Yeah,
that
should be added on here at some point.
Okay.
Maybe as a wish list or something.
That's what I was saying I would put in. I'll put in those grenades that we just bought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, and the mount and the mortar itself needs to be added on there. But
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I could do that.
We'll edit away while we're going.
okay, who wants to recap for Sheen what happened and where we ended?
I got shot.
Yeah, you got knocked out.
I got shot.
Yeah,
you
you
still
really
went
got shot.
I got shot. Badly. Well, I recapped last time, so somebody else hit it this time.
Meanwhile.
Yeah, so we rescued everybody on. You guys had already done that before I got out there. Everybody on the ship, and then we totally blasted these guys that were coming to get the goods, and managed to capture 2 of them, and did a decent job of interrogation, I think. And that's why we got this.
Did we ever figure out what the goods were?
They were artifacts from Lake Laco.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway, so then Strill said, hey, nice work. Here, have all this money. And said, do you want to go and chase down these guys now that you know where the hideout is? Or do you want a different assignment? And we said, yeah, let's go kill them all.
Wow.
Is that a pretty good summary?
But here comes the Magnificent Seven. There we go. Okie dokie.
All right,
Alright,
so I posted that map so you kind of have a feel for where everything is. So you guys are back in Point True, and the town, Reesdale, where their base is located, it's outside of the town, is a couple hours east or west of Point True. There's a road that runs out there. And so you can head out there. You have the company Explorer. You have the Explorer you salvaged from the mercenary company. Or you can take some other mode of transport to get there, depending on what you want to do.
Did we find out if they had made communications back to their boss during the battle?
Not that you know, you have no idea.
Okay. Then I say we take the 2 explorers because they both have weaponry. I mean, if they might know we're coming, so it's better to be armed.
Wasn't there discussion
We were
about
gonna go and try to
posing as mercenaries or something, and we were going to go undercover?
No, we were going to try to get recruited.
Yeah, one other bit of information is John Cheekara's family lives in Reesdale. So his parents and his 2 baby sisters live there in that town. So there's a connection you guys have to that town, at least in that way. We decided that kind of at the end of the session. So there's that, and yeah, you guys had talked about trying to infiltrate the mercenary company. But that's up to you guys. You guys can hash that out some more now, or you can, whatever you want to do.
We've repainted and fixed up the Explorer, right?
It's 1 day after you got back.
All right. Well,
So
the
unless you
thing
want
is,
to take more time before you head out there.
if we head down there with their old vehicle, or if we head down there with a Striel vehicle, we might be causing some problems for ourselves.
Yeah, just paint a bullseye on the front.
Yeah. So maybe going down there with the Explorers is not the best idea if we're going to try to infiltrate.
Well, if we just head, well, the thing is, there's a lot of Striel Explorers on the road.
Yeah.
If we just head into town and, I call ahead and say, hey, Mom, I'm bringing a bunch of friends over for dinner.
Well,
It would look very natural.
Well, what I'm saying is we can't take their vehicle, and if we are only going to have to take the Striel one, we need to unmount our mortar and take it with us.
That's just
and
a
put
matter
that
of
on top?
that's just a matter
Well,
of
no.
disconnecting it and putting it in the back. That's not an
What
issue
I'm
to
saying
do.
is we'll take the machine gun, but we should also take the mortar. I mean, we have it. We should.
Yeah, and then we can just change it out.
Yeah.
They're interchangeable, yeah.
Or use it separately.
Yeah. I just, I and until we get this thing painted, I don't want to drive around with a, hey, we killed your guys and stole your car.
And stole your car.
Oh, come on.
If it's only been
We're
one
sure to
day,
get recruited that way.
if it's only been 1 day, we might not even have had time to hose them out.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually he said that we recuperated for like, what was it, 4 days?
No. This is just the next.
It was a
This
day.
Oh, it was only 1 day?
They said take the day off. So I assume that was the day you guys spent buying all your stuff. And so now it's the next day. You can spend more time in Point True. You don't have to go out there right away. If you want to take the time to do more modifications and stuff, you can do that.
How long is it going to take to get our new paint job that we paid for?
It will probably take a couple days at least.
Tell you what, why don't Jill and I go ahead sort of as an advance party? Because, it's always good to split the party, right? And just go and find out what's going, snoop around a little bit. I can talk to the family, see what they know, while Jill kind of does her little, not quite so straight-laced thing and find out what's going on. And then we can come back and be ready while you guys stay with the van. Or we can all go in and come back and get the other Explorer.
Well, whatever you guys want to do.
That sounds good to me.
Which one?
The sending 2 people in?
Yeah, you guys go ahead.
Yep.
Because you know the lay of the land because your parents. Jill has the skills to.
Well, I don't know the lay of the land all that much. My parents know the lay of the land. They moved here.
Right. Well, you got the contacts inside there.
I got the contacts, yeah. So, Jill, you ready for a little road trip? And no, I'm not taking you to meet my parents because of all that. Sorry.
Special time.
Tease.
Okay.
So how are you going to get there?
Oh,
Public
crap.
transport, or are you going to take?
We could take public transportation, couldn't we?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like bus line, like you can think something similar to Greyhound. There may even be a monorail at this point out to Rosedale. It's been long enough. In fact, I'll say there is. There's a monorail line that runs from Point True to Rosedale.
How much that cost?
That will cost you 20 credits.
Woohoo!
Okay, I got my ticket. I got
I can do
enough for
that.
me. All right. Let's take the monorail. Oh wait, is that 20 tickets round trip or 20 credits?
That's one way.
Okay.
Whoa,
Well,
whoa,
so
ouch.
that's kind of pricey. I mean, I've got it. I could pay for my ticket round trip, but
My ticket.
20 credits, you
that's
said?
Yeah.
All right. Damn
George,
inflation.
being a referee, you have to have a whole economy in your head.
Well, see, they're still paying for building it because it was only built about 20 years ago.
No, they're not
yeah,
paying.
fair enough.
You are.
Well, yeah, exactly. They're recouping their costs.
All right, so I'm subtracting it each time I use it because I ain't
Yeah.
paying for the round trip.
Yeah, no, there's
So-
yeah. Each time you use it.
There goes 20.
Can't believe that we're gonna have to use a Chronocom expense report app.
Spreadsheet for everything. Alrighty. So
All right,
I created a table in there with the grenades in it, and assuming we have a weapons locker in there. As you start dragging stuff out that you don't want, we'll take the leftovers and I'll put it in the table for the Explorer.
Okay, maybe that's a chart. Okay, that's it. Cool.
So, Tom.
Yeah.
5 credits per SEU, right?
Yes.
So should we be charging 10 credits per kilometer for our mileage?
Yes. Now that it's not, that's our vehicle, not theirs. This is expense report time, guys.
Expense report, yeah.
No, because they've issued you a vehicle. You can use that.
No, but it's our vehicle, and we got to take care of wear and tear. There's got to be a little bit more on that.
Depreciation.
I mean, I can pay more per gallon reimbursing my travel than I pay per gallon.
Trust me, I just did my taxes. I know all about this.
We are so horrible.
Talk about
Now
before.
Oh, but it's been through life.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't taking anyone back to their childhood.
No.
No.
Next thing you know, I'm going to have a bud, and we're going to claim child income credit.
All right. So who else going out? Just the 2 or everybody?
I think
Just
it should
the
be. Yeah, just the 2.
Okay. So you catch the rail out to Reesdale. No,
And while we're gone, you three
Reesdale.
can be researching as much as you can at, Streel headquarters or whatever, if there is anything.
So you do know they are able to. Actually, we'll do that first because this is some stuff they could have given you before you left. The mercenary group is called. Oh, that's not it. Where'd it go? There it is.
I'm on that tram out there, right?
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was Jill and.
It was Jill and
Cheekara.
Cheekara.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you're not Eric.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
The mercenary group is called Reese's Resolutes.
Reese's Resolutes. Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's kind of a small outfit. There's 50 to 60 people in the company. The leader is a woman named Cassandra Reese, and she is the daughter of the gentleman who actually resettled this city after the war, which is why
Family business.
which is why the names are the same. And they do small job. They do guard type stuff, various things, they don't have a lot of information on what kind of jobs the company takes. They do know that there's a group of some detachment of the company working basically a security detail in Point True right now, but beyond that, they don't know where any of the other people are. But that's a little bit of information this drill can give you. It's such a small operation that they don't really, pay that much attention to it.
Yeah. Okay. So we go hop on the tram like a bunch of hobos, or a couple of hobos. Let's go.
All right. You have an uneventful 2-hour ride. Do you call ahead to tell your parents you're coming, or are you just going to show up at their door?
Oh, I should probably call ahead. And you know what? I better spend another 2 credits to get candy for the girls.
All right. Well,
Gotta stay, in their good graces.
since you
Huh?
called ahead, your mom and your sisters pick you up at the monorail station, and your sisters are quite excited to see you, especially when you give them candy. Your mother just rolls her eyes at you.
Hey, I was 3 once,
And they drive you back to the house. So, are you going to go out in the morning, the afternoon? What time of day do you want to be getting there? Leave that up to you.
I'm not sure. I guess morning.
Okay.
Ish.
So
Late
it
morning,
would be
maybe?
noonish.
Noonish?
If you're gonna leave Point True in the
Okay.
morning, you probably leave about 9, 10 o'clock, and you get there midday.
Get there around lunch.
Yeah, about around
Okay.
lunchtime. So your mom takes you up, feeds you. Dad's at work. Who's this nice young lady you brought with you?
Oh, she's a friend that, co-worker. We're just, we're coming into town here. Anyway, so we came on ahead just to hang out and find out, get the lay of the land out here, and how are things in town? What do you hear? What do you know? I mean, what's the news?
Oh, nothing much. So the town itself is probably about 20,000 people. So it's a pretty big sized town. It was one of the earlier settlements after the war, and then being kind of close to Point True has developed. It's mostly agriculture in this area, so that's something you would know. But she says, well, city's been growing since we got here. Your dad's business is doing good.
That's good.
Yeah, we keep, town's growing. People need places to shop and need to buy things. So, as long as we can keep prices good, he seems to be doing well. He misses being on ship though, and but otherwise, I don't know. It's definitely different than Clarion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, I've heard about this group, the Reese's, not Reese's Pieces, Reese's.
I'm hungry. Don't do that.
Reese's Rapscallions. I don't know. Isn't there some group out here looking for work or whatever?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. There's that human girl that runs them. Yeah, her dad was the mayor till about 4 years ago. Just before we moved here, they say. Yeah, they have a little camp north of town, a couple miles, just up in the foothills. And They come into town sometimes. Some of their guys come into the shop, pick up stuff. You know, they're just one of many staffing agencies here in town. They do more military security type stuff than some of the other ones. So
Yeah.
that's why they're based out of town. So they think they got like a practice range out there or something.
Oh, practice range. Okay, yeah. Are they recruiting these days, or does it seem like
A
business is
company
booming
like that's
there, or-
probably are always recruiting. I don't know anything specific. I don't pay attention to that. I mainly spend time with your sisters. They keep me busy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I'm a lot older than
But I
what
mean,
you
how
and
much
your older
trouble can two
siblings.
little girls get into? Really? I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, where would someone go to find out more about this group?
You could drive out. I mean, it's not like they it's
Just
not like
head on out.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I assume you could do that. They don't like maintain an office in town or anything. So
Okay.
I mean,
So that's what I was wondering, is if they had like some office here in town that folks, for
no,
like a
not
recruiters.
really. Not that I know of. They might, but
Okay.
not over on our side of town. Or
Okay,
anywhere near
cool.
Dad's shop.
Yeah. So is he still tinkering with them old computer parts?
Oh yeah. He's always tinkering
Yeah,
with
that's
something.
Dad. Yeah, that's Dad. Cool. I can't think of anything else. What about you, Jill?
John, what kind of shop do you want your dad to have?
I was thinking it was just a kind of like a general store
Okay.
type of a shop.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, but just double checking.
Well, you have a lovely home.
Thank you, dear. You seem a little young to be running around with. This kind of group, the kind of guys that I know my son here works with.
Well, I'm
She's
young
quite capable.
but old in spirit.
Yeah, she's quite capable of keeping us in our place.
Well, good for you, dear. You do that. So she serves you lunch. You guys talk. Your sisters climb all over you while you're there, and they're running around, goofing off. And your mother's like, kids and visitors.
Of course. So we hang out, and, for a little bit. I think that's probably about as much as we're gonna get information-wise. I don't know.
Yeah,
is there any reason to hang out in town or head back?
Well, I'll lean in and whisper quietly. What about stuff going on, local gossip? I mean, it's probably unrelated, but I suppose it couldn't hurt to ask.
True. Good idea. So what's new in the neighborhood talk these days? What are you overhearing?
What's the good word?
Yeah. Well. Oh, nothing exciting. I think Strill's gonna be building something out here. Don't know if it's gonna be warehousing or storefront or whatever, but they've got a big chunk of land out on the east end of town towards Point True that they've kind of put on, fencing, construction fencing up around. So something's going in. Nobody knows really what it is yet. So that's something that's been happening. The weather's been really good. Farmers have been doing well, which has been good. Which has been, in turn, been good for Dad because they've had money to spend.
Yeah.
And they just finished the new school last year. It's a high school's technical school. They've got a couple elementary schools going in. By the time your sisters are old enough to start attending, they should be done. So they'll be in a brand new school. So that's been good. That's been kind of exciting for people because the schools here have been a little crowded recently with the city growth.
Well, it's good to hear the city is growing, though. I mean, that's
Yeah, we're starting to get. It's kind of nice because it was, it's like most of Pale. It's predominantly humans here, but there's been several Usurian families move in the last few months around town. So the clan community, we're all different clans, but the Usurian community has been growing. It's been nice to be able to interact with other
no one from our
Usurians.
clan yet.
Yep. No. We need to decide what clan you're
Okay.
from.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So, but no, but there's only about a couple dozen Usurian families in town, so the odds are pretty slim. So,
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool.
but
Remember when I said it couldn't hurt to ask about gossip? I was wrong.
but you should go down to the store and say hi to your dad.
I will.
He'd be happy
Yeah.
to see you. So,
Cool. I think we'll go do that now, and we'll probably be heading out fairly soon. So, so I promised the girls I'll bring them candy next time we come by too.
More Reese's
And I
Pieces.
guess Reese's Pieces. So, let's go talk to Dad.
okay, so she let you take the car, and she's gonna stay home with your sisters, and you guys can just
Okay.
drive down to where your dad's store. Unless you want to walk, it's a couple kilometers away, so it's up to
Couple
you.
kilometers.
Yeah, I mean it's easily within walking distance. If you just want to walk down there.
We might as well walk.
I
Get a
can
feel
use
for
a
the-
walk.
Okay.
Something to keep me awake at this point. Jeez. Town gossip is boring.
Hey, it's a small town that's growing. There's not much to do here other than, chase
thought-
cows and watch construction.
I thought being in a small ship for months at a time was boring. Wow.
All right, let's go for a walk.
Okay, so you head out, and obviously around your parents' house is residential area, and your dad shops down on basically what's the main street of the town, and you head down there, and as you get a little closer, there's kind of I mean, most of the shop, it's residential almost all the way there, and then most of the shops are there on the main street, or there's an intersecting. Think of a main street and a perpendicular street to it that's a secondary main street. That's kind of where the business district is of the town, and you can definitely tell. One thing you notice is that it is a new town. The roads are all nice and straight. It's on a Cartesian grid. Really easy to get around. There's no old construction, and that's true. It's more actually for you two who grew up off this planet. It's something you definitely notice. Those that grew up on Pale, that's just the way it is. Except for Point True has old buildings in it because it's the only city that wasn't destroyed in the invasion 45 years ago. And and there's my 4-year-old. Okay, go on out. Okay. All right, don't get it out anymore. There you go. He's pulling the stuffing out of his blanket. So everything's relatively new, and the center of town's the older part of town, but even then, buildings are only 40 years old. So everything is fairly new construction. Still has a lot of shine to it in places. So you get downtown, and there's quite a variety of shops. A lot of specialty shops, some other general stores, kind of like the one that
the dad's running.
Cheekara's dad. His name's Harry. Harry runs. So, do you want to stop anywhere, or do you just want to head straight to your dad's shop? I mean, you don't know anybody in town, probably. People nod and acknowledge you as you're driving, but nobody tries to talk to you or anything.
Yeah, I mean, if you think it would help to sort of spend a little time dropping in a couple of different shops to just listen into things, do some browsing through stores. I think that first of all, it'd be good to just kind of listen to the conversations going on, and then also when we do hit Dad's shop, anyone who might be watching us because we're strangers would at first maybe even just dismiss us as some foreigners that are hitting the shopping district.
Sounds plausible. Although I don't think anybody would have reason to suspect us of anything anyways, necessarily.
True. Then we might as well just head straight to the shop.
Okay.
All right. So you get to his store, and you walk in, and when he sees you, he yells out, "Cheekara, how are you? Good to see you, son." He can't give
Hey,
you.
Dad.
He rolls his wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking, do they have wheelchairs? Or power chair?
Yeah, something like that. A powered hover.
Like
probably
that.
a hover chair, even. If you want to do that. So he floats over. For those of you who don't know, he was injured in a spaceship accident and lost his legs, and has retired here to Pale. So that's the story on John's dad. What brings you to Reesdale?
Oh, just we're gonna be passing through here. And I thought I'd come ahead just to say hi to y'all, and Jill here had a little business to do here in town, so we came out ahead of the rest of the group, and then we're gonna be passing through.
Jill, he offers his hand. Nice to meet you. You work with my son, huh?
Yes, but it's purely platonic. We do not sleep.
Oh my, oh me, oh my.
Oh, that's out of the way. I wasn't even thinking it.
Well, your son expressed some embarrassment. I just wanted to feel that I would not.
Yeah, okay. So how are things going with the store, Dad?
Actually, we're doing really good. The city's growing. I think Strill's gonna put in a shopping center out west of town. That might hit us a little bit, but or east of town. I think that's what they're building. Nobody knows for sure, but I suspect with the growth of the town, we're starting to get big enough now that it makes sense for them to put a distribution store front out here. I mean, we carry a lot of Strill products. Well, all the stores do. They're the main manufacturer here on Pale, but I suspect they're going to be putting something in out there. But who knows? But right now, I mean, business is good because the city's growing faster than the businesses are going in. So,
Oh, good. So you made a good choice on where to settle.
Yeah, this was definitely better than trying to settle in Point True.
Yeah. Is it a good place to live too? I mean, yeah, it's no troubles or anything. Just
not significant. We have an occasional creature wander into town. And they're still cleaning up this planet after the invasion, but
yeah.
We
no Sathar though, right?
No. Had a quick death a couple years ago, but
yeah.
This town's big enough that that didn't take too long to resolve. You got a lot of farmers, and they like to keep animals off their farms, so it's definitely different than Clarion. Everybody here carries pretty much, and so things like that happen, but it's quickly taken care of. So
yeah, you probably got a bunch of companies that hire little groups to run security for everybody.
There's half a dozen here in town, actually. It's a good base. They're close enough to Point True that they can get in and out easy, but far enough away that it's a little more remote. And
yeah.
Yep.
What kind of what kind of supplies do those groups tend to go after then?
Oh, well, you mean what do they buy?
Yeah,
Or,
I mean,
everything.
You're the salesman. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, I do more, lean a little more toward tech and stuff. Computer parts, equipment parts. I know, machine parts. They maintain vehicles, and then of course they have to buy food. But I don't.
Yeah.
That's not really my area. So.
Yeah. So none of them suddenly come in buying any large amounts of any specific anything.
No, Not really. No, just this and that. The companies themselves. I don't really do much. I don't have any orders with like any of the groups, like standing orders for fulfillment, things like that. But the individuals come in all the time for things.
Okay. Hmm.
You have an interest in one of the groups?
Well, I'd heard about this Reese's Rangers or Reese's
Oh,
Raveners or whatever they're called.
the Resolutes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys.
the R2s. They have little logos that is like an R with a square, a little 2 to the superscript,
yeah.
superscript 2 on it. That's their like corporate
Okay.
logo or something. Yeah, I know those guys. They have a base up north of town. They say the commander's a looker, but she's human, so I don't really care. And not my type. I'm married anyways.
Yeah.
And but that's a pretty tight outfit, from what I understand. They tend to do pretty good. They're not that big, but they're connected. So her dad.
Yeah, well,
founded this
I
town.
hear, this is their town essentially.
Yeah, kind of. Although they don't really. Most of the people in that group aren't locals. There's a few that are, but
Oh, really?
yeah, most of them are from out of town. I don't no idea
Okay.
why or what the logic is there, but they don't actually actively recruit here in town. Most of the other ones do, but that group doesn't.
That's interesting. Huh. I wonder why that is.
I mean, some of the people are like their computer tech. He comes in a lot, or at least one of them. He's definitely a local. He grew up here in town.
Yeah.
He has lots of stories. But
Any good ones?
just not really.
Oh.
Just
Well,
he
techie stories are great.
he can write. He reminisces about when the town was smaller.
Oh,
He grew up here, so he's watched it grow up around us, even more so.
Yeah.
So, but he's good for trying to understand who's who sometimes. Since we're new, he can usually answer any questions when things like that comes up. He comes in about once a week or so.
Okay. Cool. Maybe I'll run into him. What's his name?
Michael Carr.
Oh, maybe I'll run into him when we're here. I'll keep a watch for him. But all right. Well, we gotta head back. Finish getting ready for our next assignment. But like I said, we're gonna be passing through.
Okay. Well,
might be able to stop, but I can't promise.
Well, good seeing you. Nice you stop in for a little while. I'm sure your mom was glad to see you,
Yeah.
and your sisters.
Yeah, it was good seeing them too. I mean, I haven't really seen them much since I went off to school there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice. But yeah, I'll drop in whenever I can.
Sounds good.
All right. So Jill, is there anything else? Have you? I'm thinking as we were walking through town, it might have been, or maybe we can do a little more walking through town. Is there any kind of skill Jill can make a roll against to see if she picks up on any subtleties of criminal elements or whatever?
That's an excellent question. And I thought of that too.
All right.
So that is a good question. Stealth wouldn't cover something like that, would it?
Not unless somebody was trying to hide, and then you might notice them. Or if you wanted to slip off, you know, that's more of an active one. Go ahead.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because it says in the agent PSA
Right.
description, you know, it applies to prowling, hiding, shadowing, concealment,
right.
etc. So I'm thinking if it applies to shadowing, I might be able to.
Okay, I mean, you could definitely use it for like if you're just trying to like inconspicuously, you know, wander around behind somebody and listening to what they're talking about and that kind of thing. Yeah, it would definitely apply to that type of stuff, if that's what you
Okay.
mean.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and make a roll.
Roll them dice.
Roll them dice and see what happens. Okay. All right. So, what kind of information are you looking for?
Looking to see if there's somebody following us or
Okay.
paying us any undue attention.
No, there isn't. Nobody seems to be. I mean, you get looks just because you're in but the town's big enough that not everybody. It's not like you're in Rosegard where everybody knows everybody and half of them are related. But so people look at you because there's a Yserian, which is fairly rare in the town. And a young woman walking around, but I mean, you get glances, but nobody like stops and stares, and it doesn't look like anybody's like following you or really paying attention to you. I mean, they notice
Okay.
you, acknowledge you if you walk past them on the street, but no, there doesn't seem to be anything.
Okay.
In that regard.
And I will pass that information along.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I will check again.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of keep my eye open.
All right. So you're doing that. Anything else as you're moving through town?
Well, let's see. Do they have like a general store, or is it a bit more? Is it a bigger town than that?
They do. I mean, that's kind of what the store you just left is kind of a general store, though it leans more towards technology and equipment. It doesn't do much in the way of like. Think of it kind of like a department store, but not quite that big. And it doesn't really do foodstuffs. It does things like that. But yes, there's general stores. There's also specialty stores for just about anything that you want.
Okay. I was.
Although they all tend to be small and boutique.
The purpose for my question was I was trying to figure out if there's a place where people go and exchange gossip and where someone might go and inconspicuously overhear an interesting conversation.
I'm sure there is.
Perhaps a tavern.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely restaurants and bars in the town. And places like the gathering places like that, yes. So if you want,
I think we should stop in at one or two of them and.
Okay.
You can do your thing.
All right. So at this point, it's late afternoon. I'll assume that you spent some time at the two places you've been. So people that getting off work early are starting to get off. Business is starting to pick up. As you're winding your way through town, there's a place that's kind of a cross between. It's basically a tavern, I guess, if you want to think of it that way. It's a little more on the restaurant side than the bar side, but seems to be pretty busy, even for this time of day. So it seems to be pretty popular. So do you guys want to just head on in?
Yeah,
Might as well.
Okay.
head on to the bar section and
Okay. And well, you can find a couple open seats, or actually, it's at this point it's a small table, with a couple seats at it that you can sit at.
well, I was hoping to get a place where I can listen to people's conversations.
Oh yeah, you're surrounded
Okay.
by people. So this is like little tables out. The bar is right there. You're like 5 feet away from it.
Okay.
And there's like 4 or 5 of these little tables around. Some of them are occupied. Then there's the rest of the restaurant has tables and booths, and there are people. So there's definitely conversation going on around you. So as you sit down, a waitress comes up and says, "What do you guys want?" There's little menus sitting on the table, so
Okay.
you can just say whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll just order.
Yeah, you order something small.
Order something.
So, all right. So she takes your order.
Kind of light snackish
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
How much more money did I just spend?
Couple credits. Couple credits is all.
Okay.
All right. So I want both of you to make a int roll, and you can add your stealth onto that, Doug. So you made it. And John makes it. Okay, so
Wow, my int's pretty low.
well, it's higher than 15. I can guarantee that.
Yes. It is.
So you hear a lot of just random talk. Nothing that really stands out. Some of the things your mom and dad told you come up. There's speculation on what the Striel compound is gonna be, but you do pick up somebody makes a comment and you're not sure where it came from, so you can't actually identify who said it, but somebody makes a comment to the effect that they heard that the Resolutes had they actually say the R2s had some sort of a setback the other day, and that he calls her Cassie, is in a foul mood right now. So you hear that, and they say they sent out a big team was out, and apparently not all of them came back. They just got in earlier today, and you could hear the ruckus all the way in town. is the way they put it.
Okay.
Is there anything else? I know you're listening for things about them, so that's the thing you heard about them. Is there any other type of information you're listening for?
I can't think of anything else specific.
Yeah, that's the main thing that twigs your interest. is
Any mention of any Dralosites, strangers, maybe former UPF Space Fleet Dralosites wandering around?
no.
Oh, okay. Just always keeping an ear out for that.
Yep. Remind me, John.
Oh,
Who's
yeah, I
the
see.
Jalasite Space Fleet person? Did I just miss that one?
What's that?
Did I miss that one? That connection?
Yeah, that's my what is it? Life.
Oh, that guy. Okay, right. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took other notes. I
Yeah.
forgot to write him down. Yeah, no, he's not on the planet.
He's not on the planet. Yeah,
That's why I didn't make
well,
notes
you know,
about
it's one of these things I'm always a bit
Right.
aware of.
Yep. No,
Dralosites,
I got
yeah.
it. I know where that'll come in, but it's not here today.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, all right. So that's probably the main thing, is that you pick up that at least somebody in town knows that they had a major setback, and that the leader, Cassandra, is none too happy about it.
I'll bet that means she is eager for some more recruits this time.
Hi to
good,
the
competent ones.
Possibly. All right.
I think it's time to head back.
Okay.
Now, can we make it back to the?
Yeah,
to
you can
the
easily
mono-
make it back to the monorail terminal from where you're at. Just
Good. I don't want to have to go ask Mom for another ride.
Nah, it's a short walk. You could have walked to the house. You know, it's a couple kilometers from your parents' house, anyways. I mean, nothing in the town's more than that away. So, it's easy enough to get to.
Okay.
And you can catch a ride back to town. Back to Point True.
Another 20 credits.
Another 20 credits.
We got some decent information, not a whole lot, but some. And I'm now broke. I got 8 credits to my name.
Well, let me know if you need anything. I can help you out.
Yeah, I'm pretty well supplied, actually. It just,
It's just those incidental expenses.
Yeah.
Some receipts.
Gotta do that expense report.
All right, so it's early evening when you get back to Point True.
Hey guys, guess what?
We plan on.
They're gonna be looking for lots of good people.
Well, they were gone for the day. I figured that's the time I was taking the computer classes, so that way that's how I learned the skill.
Okay, that works.
Uh-huh. There you go. And by the way, they seem to prefer out of towners, so we're in luck.
Good, because we're out of that town. That's for cool.
Well, let's head out.
So did the information match up with what we got from the other person, the name of the leader and all that?
Yeah.
All right, so it was all correct. Okay.
Yeah, that was all kosher.
So the information about the security man should be cool.
Well, while you guys decide what we're doing next, I'm going to take a little break.
Well, how do we go get hired?
Well, I guess we can't wear any drill stuff, I guess. No, most of the stuff in this planet is supplied by Strill, so it doesn't really matter. So I guess we just go to the bar and just...
Well, except that your skiing suits are Strill uniforms, so...
Oh, okay. Can't wear that.
Yeah, you don't want to wear those. Those are corporate logoed skiing suits.
Okay, so
Could we just
then we got to change.
over them? I want to keep the skin suit. it actually has been useful.
But yeah, the
No,
only thing I can think of is, I mean, obviously we changed, but we go to it's the local watering hole, the bar, as you will.
I mean, if we wore like a jacket over, we'd.
It's fairly distinctive.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna change.
You're gonna have to go in your civvies.
Couldn't we just wear it ironically and be hipsters?
No, but if you have cash, you can buy your own.
Well, I just recently purchased a mortar. I guess
buy some clothes.
military skin suit.
I don't need no clothes. I'm a drowsite.
All right, I'm gonna bite the bullet because I don't want to bite the bullet.
The most I wear is a vest anyway. They don't got.
Yeah, I'll get a military skin suit.
Okay.
So I don't have to wear my Streel one. How much is cash here?
Well, if we're going clothes shopping, someone can buy me a new one.
Oh yeah. Next time we'll
Not
have to kill
really.
them.
He doesn't have
I'll do
any
that.
more money.
I'm broke now.
He's down to 101 credits
Oh,
Dang.
after buying that.
yeah.
Well, you know, my character's a lightweight, so.
Yeah.
Dang, the civilian skin suit is 500 credits.
Yeah, that's a skin suit that looks like normal clothes, as opposed to something that's more like a obviously a ballistic suit.
Well, it's supposed to look like mercs, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, I
yeah,
can
having a
do it.
military skin suit wouldn't be. I mean, a lot of people wear them, especially outside of Point True. You probably Jill and Cheekara probably saw 30 or 40 different people wearing them just
Alright,
in their
so I'll buy
walking
a
around town. And you've got
not cheaper.
dangerous creatures running around.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's
Just a
actually
quick
not
guess.
an uncommon item.
Let me wear this armor.
Mm.
Good point.
I'm thinking that also one of these not really easily quantifiable things we picked up from making this trip into town is maybe we picked up a little bit of a feel for the flow of the town kind of a
Yeah.
thing, so it's easier to blend in.
Yeah, I mean, you were only there for a few hours in the middle of the day, but yeah, you probably could.
Okay. So are we heading out the next day? Or do we want to wait another day or two to make sure we got both explorers with us? Actually, I mean, we could probably get recruited and then come back and get the other explorer or something.
How quickly did I know Cheekara was really injured, but how long is it going to take for him to be fully healed?
Oh, he said we were healed.
They took him to the
They took me to the med.
they took him to the med center once you got back. He's
Okay, I
covered.
didn't realize it all happened in one day. Like I thought it was the healing time.
Yeah, well, yeah. So you got back midday. They debriefed you. He went off to the hospital.
Gotcha.
Then the next day you had off basically to do your shopping and get your explorer into the shop to get painted. Which you were able to find some place that could do it started that day right away. And
Then the next day we went into town.
And then
we
the
kinda
next day
skipped
after that
ahead.
is the day you went into town. And so if you wait till the next day, you could have the repainted Explorer to take. You obviously probably don't
Let's
want to
do
take
that
the
then.
Striel
I
issue
think we should
one.
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we
yeah.
should.
Let's take the repainted Explorer.
Let's take the. Can we requisition the machine gun from the old one though?
Yes.
And yeah, let's do that then. So we have.
I
both.
like your thinking.
And you can fully charge it up at the Striel motor pool, so you've got a full charge on your battery.
Well, I just remember listening to the last one, and somebody eviscerated somebody with a machine gun, and I kind of like that idea.
It sounded cool.
Hey, he shot me. I took 3 points of damage.
Kill me.
And returned it by an order of magnitude.
Exactly.
It was like 89 points. I loved it. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Well, then I guess we just head out as
All right. So
The
the next
cruise.
day, you head out, and it's a couple-hour drive. So you get to Reesdale about mid-morning.
Okay. How long does it take us to get a little further out to, where they have their little
it's
camp
20,
there?
20 minutes. Although one thing, Cheekara, make a roll for me.
Oh, okay.
You're making it.
Whoa.
Oh,
Not a good beginning.
not good. He wanted to roll high, right?
you're doing
Something
so
like
well until we actually had to roll.
You're doing so good. That's okay. All right. So
Never mind, I
you
guess.
guys want to head out? You want to head out to their camp? Is that what you want to do?
I thought we were going to go to the place where everybody eats.
We
No?
already did that yesterday.
I think
Okay.
he was. I think that's true. That was the suggestion that you guys had made.
Oh, to go back
As a
there?
group, just kind of bum around
Oh,
town a little bit.
Kind of get observed this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably should, shouldn't we?
I think that'd be wise.
Someone else gonna buy me some food? No, I can buy food.
Okay. So, I assume you look for someplace busy. Which
a lot of
actually,
vehicles parked in front.
yeah, which actually isn't hard to do. Like I said, the infrastructure, the population is currently outstripping the services in the town. So, every place is actually doing pretty well. In fact, if there's a place that isn't doing well, you probably don't want to go there because it's probably pretty bad food. So you find a place, pull in for a brunch. As you guys go in, you get a little bit of a look because there's one human and a lot of non-human races, and that's just like the inverse of the population in general on the planet. But
It's just Jill and her pets.
yeah, it's just Jill and her pets. And actually, you do notice that a little bit, is that they will tend to talk to Jill more. And you don't think it's like conscious. It's just
It's just a comfort thing.
yeah, it's just a comfort thing. They're just not used to dealing a lot with the other races. but they're not like rude or anything like that. It's just there's just a slight deferment to Jill in all of the interactions. They'll tend to look at her primarily and talk to her. So you sit down. The menu actually does contain stuff that caters to all of the races, so that's not an issue.
Okay.
There's stuff that everyone can eat, and do you want to strike up a conversation with anyone? You just gonna listen? What are you trying to do?
Probably start by listening.
Okay.
Well,
Well, more of the same things that Jill and Cheekara heard yesterday. That's small town things. You hear somebody's kid is sick. Jill's bored out of her skull. Small town talk.
They got a dartboard here at this place. Maybe
No, not at this one. And
Now we all came in sporting our military stuff and our weapons out, right?
I assume. I mean,
Do I see anybody like
sidearms and stuff. Yeah.
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 You see a lot of people actually have some sort of a sidearm or are
Nice.
armed in some way. It's probably a 10% of the population in the town are as you've driven in and have been out and about are carrying are armed in one way or another. You don't notice anyone because I assume that John or Cheekara and Jill got a description and you would have seen it actually. The logo, the R with the superscript 2, that is the kind of the logo of the group because it would have been on their clothes, the people that you fought. You don't see anybody with that logo in the restaurant that you're in at the moment. You do notice there is a group that looks like they work for some company. You don't know what the company is, but they're all wearing kind of a matching uniform and logo. You have no idea what it
Is
represents.
our stuff matching, guys?
sorry, what was that?
At this
Is our
point,
stuff matching?
at this point, you're not.
We should have gotten like leather jackets to say the T-Birds or something.
Well, if there are two, we could be
I tell you what. I'm thinking as we finish eating, I say something like, "Hey Jill, so where's this place that we were going to get recruited at?" Kind of nice and just a little bit loud and almost a "Hey, I'm tired of waiting" kind of a tone.
Yeah, I'll follow it up with, yeah, this is the last money we got for this meal. So
I haven't found a contact yet. You'll just have to be patient. What can I
When
tell
they see
you,
that, are
boys?
people talking around us with that? I'm trying to use that skill. I forgot the comprehension. Is anybody like talking and pointing?
Go ahead and roll.
Oh fudge! It's only 15%. Come on, baby.
Hold on, guys.
Never mind.
Yeah. Come on, man.
My rolls don't like me.
Change the color of your dice. That may do it.
You're 0-2 there.
Yeah.
How do you
Go
change the
with a
color
nice
of the dice?
green or something.
How do you
I
change the
think
color?
your dice match the color of the little square that's under your picture. And so
Oh,
you click on that
okay.
square, and you can choose any color you want.
I did not know that. Let me test
You
that. Did it
You
right
gotta
now.
train those.
Yeah, okay. I like to experiment. And if you'll notice in the previous chats, I've done a lot of die rolls.
Yeah, it does. Hey, 69.
69, that's not a bad roll.
It's a good year. Good
color.
year. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
changed the color. I'm definitely gonna do that.
That's the year my ex was born. So I'm
You
not
weren't
so
that
sure it
good.
was a good year, but hey.
I still have a scar from when she accidentally scratched me at Scott's house.
When she accidentally what?
Scratched me at Scott's house.
Oh.
It was like a little minor teeny scratch, and I still have a scar from it. 20 years later.
Well, you know, those poison tip claws do things.
Anyway, sorry, my wife called. All right, so you don't notice anything,
I don't even start.
but as you guys get up to leave, someone catches you just outside the restaurant and says, "You guys looking for work? What kind of work are you looking for?"
Paying.
Something that helps with the
Isn't
bill.
everybody? Be a little more.
Yeah, some
Well,
little bit of excitement.
he says, "All right. You guys look like you know your way around a weapon, considering you're all carrying one."
Well, this isn't a weapon. This is just a, toy. Weapons are big.
He says, "Well, why don't you?" He gives you a card. He says, "I think the group north of town is looking for some more recruits, and it's a card for says Reese's Resolutes on it." And he says, "Take this, head out to their camp, and they might have something for you." And he goes back inside.
Well, thanks for the info.
I think we've got a card to follow. I think we've been invited.
Is there anything else on the card, a number or anything like that?
There's a name,
It's probably
his.
probably his business card.
And it
He
just says,
sent us.
Well,
you
why
know,
don't we head out there?
No,
yeah, I mean,
communication number.
there's a comm number on it, but it's probably his. It's under his name.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah.
and
I say the A team start heading north.
Go north.
I think the plan's coming together.
okay, so you start driving north,
Yep.
and you get out of town, and there's even a sign on the side of the road that says Reese's Resolutes and an arrow.
Dang.
Oh, well,
Okay.
that was convenient.
So
Secret lair this way.
it's not that hard to find. You've gotten the impression that it's not like they're just part of the community. They're just outside of the community.
Yeah.
Their base is outside of town. So
Yeah, it does sound like they're pretty well known. It's it's just another one of those businesses.
yeah.
Yeah, they shoot, shuttles out of the sky.
That wasn't anywhere near here, and you don't even know that they're the ones that shot it.
Okay. They don't acceptable.
All right, so you drive. It takes 10 minutes to get out there,
Okay.
if that. And but as you start to approach, you come up. You're starting to get there's it's, I wouldn't call it mountains, but they're taller hills
Okay.
that are there north of town. And as you come over one, and there's a little bit of a it goes up and then down. It's flat for a while, and then goes up to a larger one. And you can see up against that larger one, there's some buildings. There's a fairly large fenced-in area, and what you recognize as a shooting range off to the side, and there's a gatehouse in the fence, a couple towers along the fence, and what looks like a cave opening into the side of the hill.
Oh, jeez. Any parking area?
Yeah,
Like
there's
a
parking.
motorpool?
Like there's like what probably is a garage near the cave entrance, and then there is some parking. There's areas that you could easily park. It doesn't look like there's anything really designated, but as you get, I assume you continue closer. That's just what you see
Yeah.
as you come over the hill. As you get closer, you can see that there have been vehicles driven around inside the compound. There's nothing paved or anything. It's just dirt, compressed dirt, and but it's obvious that vehicles have driven around and parked inside. And as you get closer, you can see that there's definitely tracks in and out of that cave. It's a fairly large cave opening. You could easily drive your Explorer in it.
Okay.
And
Now, around the parking area in the garage, what kind of vehicles?
there
Cars,
are none
cars?
at the moment.
They did lose 3 of them.
4. You took out one of
Oh
the
no,
bigger
and the
trucks,
big
too.
truck. Yeah, and one of the big trucks. Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Yeah, their motor pool is a little bit.
and
Yeah.
the building that looks like it's a garage could maybe hold 2 vehicles. It's not really big.
Okay. Any sign of the big truck?
Nope.
Hmm. So
You
that-
could have,
Yeah,
but
I
it could
thought about
easily
that.
be in the cave too. It's a good sized cave opening. It's probably about 5 meters wide and 4 meters tall.
Okay.
So I assume you drive up to the gate.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So as you drive up, you notice that the towers, they're probably about 5 meters tall, and there is someone in each of them with a heavy weapon, and it is tracking your vehicle. And somebody in the gatehouse steps out as you pull up. He says, "What do you guys need?"
Who's in the passenger side?
Who wants to be in the passenger side? There?
Okay. We're looking for some work. I'm not good
Well,
with
so and so said this.
people. I'm not
Looking
good with
for work,
people.
huh?
No machines. People take. Who's our face man?
It's not me. My personality is the lowest of the group.
Oh yeah.
It's
My
Joe.
personality is a 65.
Oh, it's you then.
Yes, it's
Yes,
me.
thank you.
So and so sent us. Said that y'all were needing some more folks that could handle a weapon.
All right, he
Yeah,
says,
hang
"Stay
on.
here." He walks back into the shack. You could see him get on a radio or something, or an intercom or something, and he has a short conversation. You can't hear what he's being said. And he says, okay. Alright. Pull on over there. He motions over towards that the entrance, the cave is. Park by the garage there. There'll be someone up to meet you in just a minute.
I'll go ahead and do what he says.
Okay, so you pull on over. The guys in the tower continue to watch you.
Now, how many towers did you say there were?
There are 2.
Okay.
Well, that just indicates it's a quality establishment.
So
I try to see if there's any weapons mounted on the tower.
there
Or is
are,
it just
and they were
lights?
both watching you. They were both tracking you.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you're
And
in,
I try to.
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I try to calculate by eyeball the exact distances everything is, you know.
Yeah.
How far this tower is from that tower and all that. You know, mortar coordinates kind of a thing.
Just in case.
Just in case.
All
Yeah.
right. So as you get out, actually, you noticed it while you were stopped, with the window down, talking to the guard. But you hear small arms fire coming from what you thought was the shooting range, and so there's obviously some people over there practicing. So do you get out of the when you park the Explorer by the
By the garage.
by the garage? You're gonna wait in the Explorer. You're gonna get out. What are you guys gonna do?
I say
I'll
we
stay
get
in the
out and just
Explorer.
kind of.
I just chill behind the back wheel, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You guys can walk around.
I say step out, not wander too far from it, but you know, kind of look over,
Okay.
see if I can see where the shooting is.
All right. So you're on the cave, the entrance. It's almost more of a hole than a cave. But now that you're there, you can see it slopes down. It goes into the side of the hill and then down. And there is artificial lighting going down into it. It's fairly well illuminated. And the garage is on the east side of the entrance. The shooting range is off to the west, probably 50 meters or so. And you can see from where you're at now, you can actually see there is a Vrusk and 2 humans over there. And one of them is one of the humans is actually has a laser pistol that he's using. The other 2 are firing automatic pistols. And you can see them over there, and they kind of stop and look over at you guys because your Explorer pulls in. But then they go back to shooting. And you're there maybe a minute or 2 after you've stopped, and a car comes driving up, a ground car comes driving up out of the cave.
Okay.
And it pulls up beside you, and an older gentleman steps out from the driver's side, and a Azerian gets out of the passenger side, and they come around, and the human comes up to you and he says, "Hello, I'm no, should have done this before. I am my name's Carl. I'm the XO here, and you said you're looking for work. What kind of work do you guys do?
Oh, we've got an assortment of skills, but we tend to like the adventurous type.
Okay.
I'm gonna chime in. It means we kill people.
Well, we do that.
Some of us kill people. Some of us have more
Problem solvers.
problem solvers. Yes,
Some of us keep the death alive.
more people skills.
So the Azerian standing behind him kind of grins at Rennie's comment. You see him trying to stifle a smirk. All right.
Yeah, we got a good mix of skills.
All right. Well, so he starts asking you questions. Trying to probe, what kind of skills you have, what kind of work you're willing to do, and he says, "All right. Well, truth is, we do have some openings on the payroll right now. Let's take you guys down and talk to Commander Reese and see what she thinks. So if you'll my friend here, Gnar, will ride with you, and I want two of you to ride with me and follow us down in."
Okay,
Sounds
well, I'm
good to
obviously
me.
driving the Explorer, so which two of you guys are going with Carl?
I guess I'll go. Anybody else?
Why are we being split up?
If we don't all fit in that car. I guess.
Security.
Probably.
Yeah, the car only holds 4 people.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah, and they don't want us just driving in without one of theirs in
Yeah,
our car.
He goes
Well,
over and
I'll
climbs
go
his
with it
shotgun.
'cause I could
Yeah.
try lie detecting if I need to see if they're pulling something on us.
What's your
Yeah, that
percentage
makes sense.
chance on
5, but
that?
It sounds pretty legit to me. I'll tell you what, I'll go with you in the car, and the others can stay in the van.
No, I don't mind going. I just felt I had to
Oh, okay.
ask. And the answers I got were reassuring.
So who's going in the car?
I'll
Uh,
go.
And I'll go.
Well, only 2
Yeah,
of you have to go in the
okay.
car. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 2 are going to go in the car with Carl, and the other 4 are going to just go in your Explorer, and Gnar is going to ride in the shotgun in the Explorer with you.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So,
All right.
who is it? Is it Rennie and Dole or?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Rennie
Yeah.
and Dole go in the car. So you guys get in, and he. Oh, sorry, yawn. He turns the car around, and just pops a U-turn there and starts driving back down. And you can see this
No
this
problem.
entrance is pretty well worn. Dole, you notice that the cave entrance is mostly natural, but it has been worked somewhat to
I
like
have known.
level out in places. You can definitely tell that it's the effectively road which is somewhat rough, but it has been cleared out to some extent. And you go in about it's probably about 50 or 60 meters into the hill, and it's a pretty steep downslope. It's probably a 10 to 12% grade down. So you go down pretty big, but it's all lit. There is tons of lighting attached into the top of the cavern, and it's actually a pretty good sized cave. And you get down there, and you get to the bottom, and it widens out into this really big cavern. It's probably got a 7 or 8 meter high ceiling, and it's 40 or 50 meters in diameter. No idea, maybe it was a salt dome or something that dissolved away or something, because this is a huge open cavern. And inside it, there's a central open area, but there's about 4 or 5 buildings around the edges of the cavern that are obviously constructed, and they look like they're pretty well constructed. And he pulls up. There's 2 on the left, or 2 on the right at the bottom of the ramp, and he parks in front of that. You notice that, so there's those 2. There's 1 on the right of the ramp, and there's 2 across the way. And one of those is very large, and it has like garage doors, one of which is open. And inside that, you see a ground truck. It could even be the one that got away from you guys. There is hold on, let me pull up. There's another ground car in there, and then it looks like there's room to park a number of other vehicles in there, but it looks like a shop where they can work on the vehicles. But he pulls up next to the 2 buildings there on the left, and Gunnar motions that you pull up beside him. Just stop here in front of this one, and you guys get out and go to the second building, and he opens it up. You walk in, and it's a big. The right as you go in, it's like a mess hall. There's tables, there's chairs, and you can see a kitchen off to the side. There's a couple people in there when you walk in, and they.
And it's a big mess hall area.
Yeah, long table, like cafeteria type. Yeah,
Okay.
it's exactly what it is. And there's another door off the back, and it also looks like this can be converted. Like all the tables, they're like cafeteria tables. They'll fold up, and you can slide them off to the side, and have just a big open area. They probably use it as a gym as well. And he says, "Have a seat." I'll get a hold of Commander Reese, and we'll have a chat when she gets here. So the guys there that were there, they're eating. They're just kind of watching you guys. Do you want to do anything at this point?
I'm just gonna swipe some food.
I'm just gonna observe those guys. I'm just gonna go to take a seat and observe.
Okay. All right. So he walks out. He walks back outside. Carl does, and he's gone just 60 seconds is all, and then he walks back in. He goes, "She'll be out. She'll be here in a few minutes." And so he just starts making small talk, trying to find out, what brings you here, what that. And a couple minutes later, you hear a motorcycle pull up outside the building, and it stops, and shortly after that, a human woman walks in. She's probably in her mid-30s. There's no human males in your group, but she's fairly pretty. And the other people in the room kind of snap to attention a little bit. It's not like a full military attention, but they, sit up straight and Carl says, Commander Reese, these are the people that pulled up. They're looking for a job, and he says, the name of the guy, he says he sent him up here, so you could, if you want to talk to him, see what they've got to offer. It's up to you. It's your company. She goes, thanks, Carl. And she pulls up a chair next to you and sits down and says, so, what can you do for me?
Probably anything you need us to.
I don't think we can do anything at all for you. I don't work for anyone who's better looking than me. I'm sorry. I'm out. Unless you can pay really well, that is, and I flash her a smile.
I pay well enough. So we'll start with you. What's your story? What skills do you bring to talking to you, Jill? What do you bring?
Well, the question is, what don't I bring? I have a wide skill set. I grew up on a pirate ship, soaring the spaceways,
And now
encountering
you're stuck
many.
here on Pale.
Well,
He walked the plank.
sometimes even the best get caught. But I've served my time. And I don't really care much for killing. I will do it when it needs to be done. But I'm very good at what I can do. And basically, I'm a thief. I'm very good at sneaking around and stealing things. And
Okay. She turns to Cheekara. How about you?
Checker walked away from his seat.
Oh, did he? All right. Then we'll do Rennie.
I'm a tracker, but you pay me well enough, I'll do just about anything you need, except for grow Menacon root.
Grew up on New Pale, did you?
I just take a bite of whatever it is I'm eating.
All right. So we got a tracker. We got a sneak. How about you? Turns to you, John. To Cheekara.
Oh.
What do you do?
Oh, I never met a robot I didn't like, but aside from that, the average skills of shooting things with bigger bullets and that kind of thing.
Okay. How about you? Bob. What's your name? What do you do?
You just call me Blub?
Blob. The Blob.
I like to shoot things and blow things up.
Demolition
No,
skill.
in my part time, I like to do stand up.
I think we'll pass.
Yeah, we're glad he's good at his other skills.
And how about you, Cheekara? What do you do? You back? You back,
It
Angel?
doesn't look like he's back.
Oh,
Still looking at an empty chair.
Oh, you can see video. I don't see anybody's video.
I
No?
didn't try any video
Uh-uh.
today.
Chicheka?
I don't see Chicheka's video either.
Well, if he's gone, I'm gonna take a little bathroom break for myself.
All right.
I'll be back right back.
Okay, 5 minutes.
Yep, 5-minute break.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm back.
Alright.
Sorry about that. I figured if everyone else is gone.
No, that's fine.
You might as well.
Uh,
Yeah, if y'all haven't noticed, my ranged weapon skill is only at level 2, but I figure I'm a young kid, and so obviously the things I've seen myself do are very impressive.
Mine is level 2 also, but that's because I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
But see,
this
but see, Cheekara is kind of young, and so he's done enough that he is very impressed with his abilities with the rifle, even though he's not the greatest, but he's got some skill.
He suffers from a severe case of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah, something like that.
Angel, you back? I keep seeing his microphone twitch.
Could be just noise in the background.
Yeah.
Angel. Angel had to go perform a miracle real quick. He'll be back.
It happens.
Okay, I'm back. What I miss?
Man, that was hard combat.
Yeah.
No.
He said
So,
we get all the experience.
No.
so Commander Reese has been going around asking everybody what they can contribute to her operation. So you're up. What can you do
Oh.
for me? That's her question for each of you.
Well, I'm fairly skilled in machinery. I'm also pretty good with my hands in other areas as well. I could take care of myself, and I'm pretty sure I could contribute with other talents if needed.
Okay. Well, you all seem to claim proficiency with weapons. Let's take you guys up to the range. Weapon of choice. She asks
laser
you
pistol.
each, and then she nods to after you guys each say what weapon you're going to use. She nods to Carl, actually to Gunnar, who steps out and she's talking to you a little bit. He comes back and he's got a collection of power clips or ammo clips for whatever weapon you said you were going to use. So he says, "All right, let's head up to the range." And as you walk outside, there's a motorcycle parked next to your thing with a helmet on it. She picks up the helmet, puts it on her head, kicks the motorcycle to life, and takes off out the up the ramp, up the hill, back to outside. He says, "All right,
So we got to.
follow us."
Okay.
And, they let you guys can all go in the Explorer if you want.
Okay.
Just
That'd be
follow
more
her up to the
convenient.
range. You can see she stopped at the top of the hill at the entrance to the cave. She's kind of silhouetted against the daylight up there.
Yeah, she likes the grand staging just a little.
She strikes a pose.
All right, so
I'm more of a hand-to-hand.
that's fine.
Okay. Thumbstick it is.
I'm sure they can talk someone into being your practice dummy.
All right, so I want everybody. We'll go through these in turn. So we'll start with Jill. What weapon did you pick?
Gyrojet pistol.
Okay, so he hands you a clip, and there's a target downrange, and so he just says, "All right, let's see what you can do." So I want you to make 3 skill rolls.
Oh crap!
Wait, we're supposed to actually demonstrate this?
Well, you got one. Well, not a 3 ain't
Okay.
bad, right?
So
All
who's
right.
next?
You are.
Mm.
Rennie's next. What are you using, Rennie?
Laser pistol.
Okay. Let's see, do I have your character sheet handy? Hi, you hit twice. Okay. Eric, Dole's turn. Uh-oh, is Eric not back?
Oh.
All right, let's jump over Eric. Angel, you're gonna do melee, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
So I took a stun stick, but I
Right.
obviously have it on shock.
okay, yeah. Actually, you can
Come on.
with that you can just turn it off because you're just trying to make contact.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so Gunnar squares up against you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Come on, dude. Rolling out one. That was not bad.
There you
Pretty
go.
good.
Okay. And John, you're next. Cheekara.
Okay, automatic rifle.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
What?
Why are you rolling
No,
for battle
just kidding.
rage?
I was not rolling the right thing. I was just kidding.
It only works in melee.
Okay, here's
Wrong
the
macro.
real thing.
Hey,
Hit her
that's a
with
good
an
Oh, that's a
solid.
good one.
9, 7,
Whoa.
Dang, I love these dice.
Yellow is your color, dude.
I have never rolled this roll in my life.
Of course, that's because it's stationary targets, and it just reinforces the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Of course. Obviously, I am that good.
You obviously are that good. Okay, well, you're impressive. All right, so not bad. To you, that was some good shooting. All right. Tell you what, head back into town. We'll talk it over and come back out tomorrow morning, and we'll see what we can do. But I think we can find a place for you.
Is she talking specifically to him?
Oh, yeah.
No, she's talking
You
to all of you as a
guys,
group.
or-
You guys.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was the plural. That was the plural you. No, all of you. No, you all succeeded at least once. So,
The word you're looking for, Tom, is y'all.
y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. You know,
Y'all.
I grew up Southern Alabama. I can do it if I want to. Y'all. You know, y'all. But that isn't what I'm going to do. Okay, that's not how I talk anymore. That's my sister. She picked up that accent. I can do it if I
Which
want.
one?
Teresa.
Ah. Okay.
She doesn't have it so much anymore, but of all of them, all of us, she definitely came to Utah with a Southern accent.
Yeah.
She's the only one that talks normal.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
So where we're gonna hold up for the night? I say this after we're in the Explorer.
yeah. So, yeah. I assume you. So you pack up and head out.
If only somebody had a relative in town.
I don't know how big their house is, but I don't know. We could try crash the place. Hey, Mom, we decided to drop back in.
I brought some friends. They're gonna
I
crash.
brought some friends. Can we crash here tonight? You'd be sleeping on the floor and on the couch, but you could do it. And your mom would totally
Yeah,
let
we
you
can
do
do
it.
that.
All right.
I better fulfill my
Angel,
promise and give the girls more
have
candy.
Cheekara make another roll. Another
Oh.
int roll.
Okay. Much better.
That's a good roll.
Okay. As you're driving into town, you notice parked outside one of the stores downtown. There's a big old delivery truck that you have seen so many times you are sick of it. Because your brother's in town.
Oh. Oh. I say hi to my bro.
Looks like he's making a delivery.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna go say hi to my brother. Oh, but wait. Damn. He's in Strill uniform, isn't he?
No, he has his own company now, remember?
Oh, that's right. Awesome. Forgot about that. All right, good. So yeah, I'm gonna park and go talk to my bro.
So, you pull over. Yeah, well, here, guys.
Yep. I'm gonna
And,
talk to my family now.
He's not in the truck, so you walk into the store there, and
Yeah.
you see him in there. There's some guys loading stuff off the truck. You know, they're taking hand trucks and they're pulling boxes and stuff off, and he's in there talking to what you probably guess is the shop owner. And he sees you, and he gets this big old grin on his face, or his antennas start twitching. And which you recognize as a grin, but nobody else does. But and he kind of signals at you. Hold on, be there in a second. And
Yeah,
so
business first.
he finishes talking to the guy. They talk for a couple more minutes, and he comes walking over. He says, "Hey, bro, how are you? What brings you to this little town? Thought you were off somewhere gallivanting around the hinterlands."
Well, let me tell you, it's been an adventurous couple of weeks.
He goes, "Well, I'm almost done here. There looks like they probably got the truck about offloaded. Well, you got any plans for the rest of the afternoon?"
No, not at all, actually.
He goes, "You here
You
by
tell
yourself?"
the rest of the guys. No, I'm here with some friends,
Okay.
some co-workers. I'll let them know that we're going to hang out.
Okay. Well, let's all just go grab some food. And it's on towards evening now. It's on towards dinner time at this point because you spent a while there
Okay.
at the mercenary place. And
I probably talked to him about Rennie once in a while, because Rennie I used to know
yeah,
from driving around as well.
Yep.
So I invite Rennie.
well, he tells you, just bring them all. We'll just all go out.
Let's
Here, meet your friends.
Well, I asked Cheekara, do you want to go to your family's
Yeah,
house for dinner, or do
might
you
as
want to
well.
join us?
Yeah, we can always crash at mom's later.
All right, so join us.
After we've had something to eat.
What the hell? Frickin' computer.
You okay, Shane? Hey, Eric, are you back yet?
I'm back.
Okay.
Okay.
What you probably weren't here for that part. They at the mercenary camp, they gave you all basically a skills test with your weapons. So pick your favorite weapon and make 3 attack rolls.
I guess I'm gonna do the laser
no.
pistol because I just recently upgraded in that.
Yeah. No pressure, but everybody else made at least 1 success. And John rolled 3 rolls under 10.
He was killer.
He was killing it.
Okay, this is gonna cost me 3 SEU, isn't it?
No, they
Ah,
provided the power.
Oh,
They
fine.
gave you guys each power clip or an ammo clip to use. So no, it's not
Okay.
costing you anything.
That's a miss. That's miss.
Well,
I need
no,
a 45.
that was a hit then. Okay,
And then that's a hit.
and that's a hit.
Okay.
So
Oh, I'm not shooting
you
that far. Where am I shooting at?
no, you're just shooting at a
The firing range.
target in a firing range.
A stationary target.
Yeah. So you get careful aim bonus and stationary target bonus, and so those actually maybe all 3 hit. So
That would all 3 hit
Yeah.
because plus 10 on each, right?
it's actually more than that. So it's plus 15 for careful aim, plus 20 for stationary, I think. So
I hit.
yeah, so I mean everybody did pretty good. So all right, I just wanted to have
Oh,
you
heck.
do the rolls.
Mhm.
Yeah, John got a bullseye.
Yeah, careful aim.
with his
full
OT
aim for
2.
that one. It's like, wow, I actually get to take time
Yep.
and make sure it's pointing
Yep.
straight.
So okay, and so now when did you come back, Eric? Were you there when we?
You weren't rolling when I came back.
Okay,
It was all done.
so
I just came back just a moment before you said something, so I'd heard something about we'd spend most of the day there or whatever.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you've run into Cheekara's brother. He owns a delivery company, and he's in town making a delivery. So he's invited you guys all out to dinner.
Free food.
Free food.
We figured you'd want to, have some.
So he takes you to a restaurant in town that he goes, I'm out here a couple times a month, so I found this restaurant, I really like it. I don't know if your friends will, you'll like it though. And it
Right.
definitely has more of a Rusk menu than is normal, so it's more things that cater, but it does have stuff that, caters to all, like most establishments do. They have stuff that caters to all the races.
Yeah, they got chicken fingers for the rest of them.
Yeah. So, um, but so he starts, he tells you a little bit about what's going on in him, but he's mostly interested in hearing any stories you have to tell.
Well, I tell them about our encounter with the town. With,
I wouldn't talk too loud about our encounter with these folks.
No, we're not talking about this people at all.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about the Sathar,
Okay.
our first
Oh.
adventure. Yeah, no, I'm not going to mention this.
That should be
At
fairly
all.
famous, though. They're going to put 2 and 2 together. Who we are if we say that.
That we met up with the Sathar?
That's going to get out. People talk.
I don't know if they would talk about that because that might cause a panic.
Yeah.
Well, that's another good point. Didn't think about it that way. How often do they see Sathar on this planet? Probably not.
Not very often. It was real common about 40 years ago.
For you.
Yeah.
And it has been diminishing over the years to the fact that it happens occasionally at this point. I mean, it's not unheard of, but it's not common at this point in time.
Well, I
More
tell them
often-
about that.
More often, they find Sathar remains more than Sathar live ones. So,
So it's
I-
likely that half of the people that overhear him think he's just exaggerating a bit for his brother.
yep.
Sathar boots, man. Sathar skin boots.
We took down 20 by hand.
I don't think you guys actually ever killed one.
Listen, he doesn't need to know that.
We killed some, didn't we?
Didn't y'all tie one up in knots or something like that?
Yeah, you,
Two of them.
you knocked him
We
Tried
out.
two and not.
You knocked him out and then put him in with a ravenous crazy psycho bird, cybernuck.
That
Yeah.
counts.
I tell him the horror of those things.
Dude, I've
They
heard about
eat
those.
bugs. They eat bugs. Evil
think they
chickens. Had nightmares about them freaking things. But I also tell him around the areas where they are and also the quick death. So if he's out there driving, to be wary around these areas. Gotta give my
Okay.
brother a heads up.
Yeah, there's not much out that direction. I don't think I've ever made a delivery to Rose Guard.
Okay, good.
I've heard of it, but never really been out there. They usually don't need anything big enough to fit into my truck. So I said I only make it out here a couple times a month. There's not actually, so. So
So when you
pass-
come out here, do you have any stories to hear about this area or anything?
well, it's definitely growing. I've been doing more business out here in the last, year or so than before. It's been steadily picking up. Town's growing. The companies, here, they're definitely doing business. They need supplies, and I can bring out a big load all at once, and but
Are there a lot of Rusk around?
there's more here than there are. The Rusk are probably the second populous, second most numerous race in the city. So there are a good number of them. So you have seen them around town.
Okay.
So, but
Well, talking lowly, talking low and in Rusk, I asked him if he's heard anything about this gang, this company, the Reese's. I
yeah,
forgot the name.
Resolute.
Reese's Resolutes.
Not specifically, I mean, if you're thinking if you want to know anything bad, no, they're actually a pretty up and up group as far as I can tell. Um, I've never had a delivery out to their compound. I know where it is. And I've seen some of their people in town. I've even talked to a few of them. You know, just kind of ran into them eating dinner or something. But
no deliveries in their area.
no, I've never done any deliveries out to them. I mean, their commander, lady in charge, is a local.
Okay.
And but you know, I don't really know much more than that. Sure, if you asked around town, you could find out more about them. But I've never heard anybody talking bad about them. If that's what you're looking for.
Oh, all right. Well, that's interesting. But interesting. And then, of course, I point out that Rennie's with.
Yeah.
Picked him up here. He's staying. We're working on the same things together. We ended up being on the same crew, so that was good. I had a familiar face.
That's cool.
Good to see you again. If you're going north, take some of that BioCort.
And a big gun.
Yeah, what's that? Actually, what did we use to the psycho squirrels to cure that?
Oh, it was just whatever the standard antitoxin.
Antitoxin. Yeah.
Antitox
You
was.
should make sure you got a syringe of that when you go north.
Yeah, psycho squirrels.
Squirrels?
Psycho squirrels.
Y'all worried about squirrels?
They're poisonous, man, with big razor sharp teeth.
Man, next you're going to be telling me about rabbits.
You laugh, but the quick started out as a house cat.
So, actually, when you're talking about the squirrels, you notice that some of the people around you kind of perk up at that.
Ooh.
And you know,
That problem is a spread.
it's just, in fact, when there's a break, kind of a break in the conversation, somebody comes over and says, "You were talking about the little squirrel guys."
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
What did you notice? I mean, what was the? Because there's been some weird ones running around here recently.
What I noticed, they like to attack, and when they bite you, people go unconscious and start to die.
Yeah.
It's not really pretty.
Be very wary of these.
Yes.
Is there a way to ID them? Can you? I mean,
Yes, if
They're
they're on
looking-
your face, they're a psycho squirrel.
that doesn't really help.
You are so useful.
No, it's just they look like the normal squirrels, except for they're aggressive. There's no.
Yeah, there was no
Actually, there was.
distinguishing feature.
There was a very faint. The fur right along their spinal column was a slightly lighter color.
All right, there is a slight.
Oh, so they're skunk squirrels.
Yeah,
By the time you notice that, though, you're big.
Yeah,
you're dead.
you have to get pretty close to notice that. So, maybe we ought to try to catch one of those. Thanks for the information.
Yeah,
And they
I
wander
wouldn't
back
try
off.
catching one.
Anyway, so they go off. That person goes back to their table, and you catch discussions of catching squirrels and trapping animals and such. But it's they want.
Great, you guys. Now you're responsible for killing off half the population of the town. Hope you're happy.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
All right.
Yeah, they're humans.
Oh, I like that one. That was good.
Okay.
Well, I asked him, is he staying the night or is he going? Is he leaving tonight?
Yeah, I got a room at the hotel here in town. I'll be driving back in the morning.
You got a double bed?
Sure.
What, you
No.
don't want to crash on a couch?
Nope, I'm not taking the
Oh.
floor. I'm taking bed. Thanks, bro.
Off of the floor.
All right. You guys want to do anything else this evening?
I think we'll just wait a lot
Yeah.
until we get, they find us and say, hey, you got a job, or
Well, they told us to go back tomorrow.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
come back
so-
out in the morning.
Yeah.
How
We're
much
just
is
spending
the,
the night.
How much is the room at the inn?
Oh, that's something I need to work out. We'll say, if you want to stay at the inn, it's probably 30 credits a night. We'll go with that for now.
All right. Would that be the same for a two bedroom?
Yeah,
A room with two
that's a
beds?
single. That's a single or a double bed.
All right. So, Remy, I'll cover a room for us.
okay.
Yeah, hi, Mom. I got some friends.
Yeah, 'cause you have a place to stay. Cheekara has a place to stay with Jill because they're a couple.
We are not. Even.
Mom will be like, "You can
She's
share a room."
human. I mean, come on.
Where are these rumors coming from?
Chicheka.
Probably just stay in the van.
Chicheka's starting them.
I'll pay for one room for Rennie and Dole to share, and I'll share the room with my brother.
No, my character would probably just sleep in the van.
Are you just gonna sleep in the Explorer?
Yeah.
Oh,
It
okay.
just feels like that's what he would do. Because he's a scout guy.
That's not a bad idea to make sure we still have a van in the morning.
You got a point.
Not a
I mean,
bad
it is a
idea.
cool van now.
All right. Well, then never mind. I'll chill with my brother. I don't have to pay for nobody. Cool beans.
All right. Anybody that doesn't got a room and doesn't want to stay in the van, I'm sure we can convince Mom to let us crash. And I did already subtract 2 credits because I promised the girls more candy. So
Oh boy.
yeah, Mom's gonna want me to not drop in for a while after this. At least I'm not bringing dirty laundry, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
I missed all the stuff in the chat window here.
Oh, it's been entertaining.
Just lay the pizza upside down on my belly. Like the McRib belly for a limited time. Okay. All right. So you all head off to your respective destinations. So Brittany's gonna sleep in the van. Dole, where are you going?
I was figuring I'll just sleep in the van.
Okay. You're gonna
We're
sleep in
camping,
the van?
man. Yeah, well,
All right. So
takeout time.
you
I'm
two-
detective dude, right?
yeah, you two stay in the van. Cheekara and Jill go to Cheekara's parents' house, and since there's just the two of you, they have a Jill gets the guest room and Cheekara gets the couch. And of course, his little sisters keep sneaking down and trying to sneak up on him all night long, so he doesn't get much sleep. And and they always want to play with their big brother. He's in town, and the night passes uneventfully for everybody. So, except
I
for
spend the night just hanging with my brother. Talking
yep,
about
you
family.
spend time catching up with your brother, Rennie
And
and
now that
Dole.
we're in a private room, there's no bugs on it. I tell him everything.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna have to get the Discord chat up in the video feed from now on. So the next morning you get up, everybody gets some rest. Even John managed to get some sleep eventually. Cheekara finally gets his sisters to go to bed. And you anything you want to do in town before you head back out?
They sort
No.
of said,
I can't afford to
No.
do anything in town before we head back.
they said to just be out there in the morning, so we must.
Yep.
We'll go out there nice and early so that way we can have chow in there.
Yeah, so they pay for our food.
That's
Chow,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
We get on the line. Here's our tray. Thank you.
All right, so you drive back out there and you get to the gate, and it's a different guard, but he recognizes you, recognizes your vehicle anyways. He says, "Well, we were expecting you."
Hard to miss
I don't
eyes.
know how he could possibly recognize it.
His brand new paint job. It doesn't have
Got
a
the
ding on it
spoiler.
anywhere. Yeah. So he
Dura
waved you-
alloy wheels, man.
he waves you through, and he says that he says head on down in, down to the mess hall, and
Done.
Commander Carl will meet you there.
Well, I park it down there and we head on
All right,
down.
so you drive down there, and it's definitely busy. So when you walk in this time, it is morning, it is breakfast time, and there's a lot more people. There are about 20 or so people there. Mostly humans, but there are some Usurians, Drowsites, and Brusk. I want everyone to make a intuition roll.
Oh, sure. I used up all my good rolls.
Oh, I actually probably made something.
I'm
Shame.
clueless.
Really?
Which way did they go? I drank too much Rusk Ale last night. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's
All right.
my sister's fault.
Rennie, you recognize one of the Drowsites as the guy that shot you.
One that got away.
Because he did get away, actually, the Drowsite that shot him.
He's the one that got away. That's some of my bitch.
I'm hoping they all look alike.
What?
I'm hoping Usurians all look alike to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
Seriously.
foul
So-
world, it's not how you look, it's how you smell.
And he never got that close.
That's
If it's
good.
Remy, then
And it was raining.
Yeah, it was raining.
Okay. And
I guess I don't know if he knows who I am. I'm gonna have to get a little closer and just check it out. But I'm gonna walk
Do
up
you want to get closer?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk
I
up
don't know if you want him to
kind of
notice
whisper
you.
into his ear. I guess you can't whisper into his ear.
No, it's a drow site.
No, I'm talking about the Cheekara. I was gonna
Oh.
tell him. I think that's
Oh.
the guy who got me.
I thought you were talking about the dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's sitting with a human. And they're talking. They're kind of quiet and a little downcast. And let's see, what did everybody else roll?
Do we see? I'm gonna look up at the towers. Do I see anything in the towers?
Oh, you mean as you were driving in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
again,
like after I recognize the guy, I'm
So
gonna
this-
just kind of casually look around.
this
and
is
see if I
down
see
in-
any-
you're down in the mess hall at this point
Okay.
when you recognize him. So, as you start looking around, and you discreetly kind of call people's attention to it. There's as people start getting food and sitting down, there's some more people that go and sit with the Dralosite and the human, and there's a couple of Rusk and another Dralosite, and two more humans that go sit with them, and you, when Rini points out, because Rini was unconscious for the end of the battle, but once he points them out to you, you recognize that group as the survivors. Those were the guys. Like it takes a minute, but that human, he's the guy that got blasted, but was wearing the albedo screen.
Oh, I remember.
Oh,
So, and it would be Jill and Dole that recognized him because they were the ones that had the good view of that when it happened. The other guy, the other three of you were on the other side of that little hill. So you saw the flash,
Yeah.
but you didn't have you weren't as close. And you realize that's probably who that is. And he seems, of that group, that guy seems to be the one kind of their leader. With the Dralosite being the second in command. But just about as you guys are noticing that, Carl comes in.
Where is he?
He's in that group.
That's some of
That would be the other Dralosite that's there. Or no, it's one of the humans that managed to get away. So
I recognize the sonic disruptor on his side.
yeah,
Yes.
you so just about as you guys are making that recognition, the gentleman that was talking to you yesterday, Carl, comes in. He says, come with me, and he takes you through that door in the back. There's a hallway, and then off to the side is a small conference room. And he takes you in there, and he takes you in there, and he says, "Well, based on what we talked about yesterday and your performance on the firing range, and the fact that we could use a little bit more manpower around here, I think we're gonna bring you guys on board."
manpower, that counts you out, Jill.
Ouch. She kicks you under the table.
Hard.
Just remember that of everybody here, Jill's the only one that's done time and survived it. Um, so yeah, don't pick on her. She may be.
I just want to do group. So funny.
That's right. Um,
Did you see what Shane wrote in the chat there after I said that?
Yes.
First day in off HR, exactly right. So he goes, okay, so we got some paperwork here, and this is the contract, and basically, he says you get room and board here at the base. We pay 20 credits a day.
How much
Uh,
board?
How much board? Bunk rooms, double rooms.
I'm just
sure.
talking about food.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's room and board. Well, you saw the spread. You'll be fine, Rennie. 20 credits a day. If you are put on a hazardous assignment, that doubles. So, if that's acceptable, we'll sign you on. Get you guys assigned rooms.
Okay.
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 All right. So,
Oh, so you already. I'm typing double dipping. And you're writing it too.
all right. So, they take you to the building next door, which is the barracks. It's basically a lot of double rooms, double bunk rooms. They have accommodations for any of the specific races. They put Rini and Cheekara in a room together. They put because it's designed for Yazirians. It's got Yazirian style furniture in it, and then each
And
of
they
the
put Jill and Chichika together.
no.
Because, obviously.
No, and so then they they actually have rooms for the other three. Each end up in their own room at the moment. They have the rooms themselves. There's another bed in there, but and each one is appropriately furnished for their race. So Jill gets one with human furniture. Dole gets put one in Dralicite furniture, styled furniture, and Checheka gets a Rusk room. So these will be your rooms, and the rooms are thumbprinted, so they take your biometrics into the system to lock and unlock the rooms. And you spend several hours doing that. You meet with there's a computer tech guy that you meet with, and he gets all that squared away so that you can get into the various parts of the base. You notice as you start moving around the base, you notice that there are level 2, level 3, level 4 locks on a lot of the buildings, a lot of the rooms. It's actually fairly high tech as far as that goes. I mean, it's not like super high level, but it's not just latches and skeleton key type things either. So
it's a biometric thumbprint onto the scanner of the door.
Yeah. So there's most of the doors have just you just put your finger or your thumb there, and then it unlocks and opens up and goes in. So
can I see how he puts our biometrics into it?
But he has a little thing. You you go over to the computer room, which is in one of the other buildings, and they sit you down and they take your print on a scanner, and then he feeds that into their computer system.
Okay.
So,
Because I want to watch so that way I could see if I could like possibly put ours up to a higher level if I break into computers.
okay. Well, you can keep an eye on it.
I'm gonna be observing them.
The guy you meet, as you're talking to him, you realize this is the guy that has visited with your dad. So this is Michael Carr. And
Oh.
so with Cheekara's dad. Sorry, not your
Yeah,
dad.
no,
Angel.
I figured that.
Yeah. Sorry. So
I figured he meant.
so it's up to you if you want to make that connection or not. But this is the guy that your dad was talking about, John Cheekara. So
Okay.
most of the day is spent there. They take you off, like Cheekara, they take you over to the motor pool,
Right. Okay.
and
Pick up the weapon.
put you to work. They kind of under supervision, see what you can do. And and most of the rest of the day is spent just kind of getting you guys worked into their rotations in that.
Right.
You always have someone with you, working with you, showing you the ropes, probably also watching you, keeping an eye on
Scoping
you.
us out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you guys? Anything you try to learn throughout the rest of the day?
I'm just keeping an eye out for that one Jala site.
Okay.
I'm gonna check out all the vehicles that they have, and basically, yeah, what kind of equipment
Okay,
do they have here?
So this is what you find out for that. We'll do that one since you had a specific question. Their normal complement, they say until a few days ago, we had 5 explorers, 4 ground trucks, 2 ground cars, an air car that's parked outside in the garage outside, 4 motorcycles, and 4 motorcycles. We lost 3 explorers and a ground truck in a fiasco that hold on, I have a name for that. Gary totally botched, and Commander Reese he's got latrine duty basically. He's not in her good graces at the moment. And right now there are no explorers there. Your guys' explorer that you guys drove in is the only one in the area. Says the other two explorers are one of the explorers and ground cars are back in Point True on a job, and the other explorer is down south working on an assignment. And then
wow, so you guys lost 3 on one job. That must have been one heck of a job.
yeah, it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be an easy one too. So, which is why Commander Reese isn't too happy right now.
Yeah.
And you realize talking with them that it is probably about 100,000 credits worth of equipment lost.
Wow.
We gotta up our rate.
Between the Explorer and
Well, yeah,
the truck that you guys blew up as well.
Each, aren't they? Yeah, Explorers are nuts.
So,
wow.
Yeah, she's not too happy right now. So you might want to try to avoid her. She's not in the best. And you'd never know it, though, man. She is... I don't think I've ever heard her yell at anybody. But
Until that day.
no, she just
Oh.
quiet and says her piece, and you better jump when she talks.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I don't want to be
Good
the
to know.
first one that she yells at. So
All right,
Good.
so one of you was a robotics person.
that's me.
That's
I wanted
you.
to
So
find out
you were
about.
in the other part of that building. There is a small robotic shop. They don't actually have a lot of robots. They've got 2 combat robots and 3 maintenance robots that kind of just. The combat robots typically, you find out they typically will man the outer towers at night, and then they're in during the day recharging, and then the maintenance robots are just they go around, they do general upkeep in the buildings and stuff. They're not a lot of that. You hear the robot tech from, we should just get more, then we wouldn't have to do it, kind of thing. So
Hey, I'm all for that. More robots, the better.
so he would be too. So he's the lone roboticist. So you're basically his backup when you're in town, in the base now.
Awesome. I know where my hangout is.
So and then but they take you around. So they've got you find out that there are 2 more. There are tunnels, there are caverns, passages off this main cavern, back behind the buildings. Only 2 of which are used. Beyond the there's a passage just past the building that has the mess hall in it, and you find out that down that way is Cassandra's area. She's got her own place further back there, so you'll hear her bike going in and out of there all the time. It's a little bit of a ways back, but we'll never go back there. So, and then the other thing you find out is that there is down this another tunnel that's behind between the barracks and the tech building is basically a storage built facility, and behind that there is a tunnel, and they're like, this one goes way back in, but that's our power back there. There's a deep down in, there's a geothermal vent that we've tapped into. We've got a generator back there, and so the tech people you'll get trained on it eventually, because we've got to maintain it and that. But that's way back deep in the hill. And then there's piping and stuff coming out from there, and that part of that storage building is also water processing and things like that, is what that building's used for. And then the 4th building, or the 5th building, which is on the left side of the entrance, is more storage, actually, is what it is. So that's kind of the layout of the building. And the big central area is where they typically will park all their vehicles. So a lot of them are there. The 2 ground cars, no wait, one of the ground cars is gone. So one ground car, the one that he was driving the other day, there's 3 motorcycles and 3 of the big trucks parked just there in the center of the area.
Okay.
All right, so that's what you find out about that stuff. Is there anything else you guys want to, ask questions about? look into?
I think it may be good to just get a feel for who the people are that are working here. You know.
Okay.
I mean, obviously we're not going to want to be interrupting everybody's work. Hey, who are you? Hey,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Hey,
Right.
but you know, try to get to know some folks.
I want to check out these storage areas. They got a lot of storage. Check out some of the storage as, play innocent. What are you doing there? Oh, I was just looking for spare parts for the explorers.
Yeah. So yeah, the one by the entrance is mostly empty, actually. It looks like it's just a big, you could store shipping containers there, you could store the vehicles in there if you wanted to, some of the vehicles anyways. It's
You could
mostly
store
empty.
artifacts that you steal
Yeah,
from Strill. Yeah,
you
that
could
kind of
you could store, yeah, it's really just a big warehouse type building. Um, there's some,
Nothing in it as we speak, though, at this time?
not really.
Okay.
The other one that's back in the back looks more like there's part of it that's locked off. That's you find out it's the armory where they keep weapons and ammunition and stuff. There's the food storage is in that building. Looks like that one has the things that run the base. It's gonna have your machine parts and your vehicle parts and anything they're not using right away. They've just got
Okay.
just in case type stuff. So it's got a wide variety of stuff in it. And in fact, those of you that are involved in that are in and out of that one probably multiple times that day. They also take you out during the day for some target practice, and to kind of get a,
I feel.
you get practice, get more feel for what you can and can't do, and you get the feeling that a lot of the day was spent just kind of evaluating what you really can do. They heard what you said, they saw what you did the first day, and now they're really trying to dial in their assessment of you. But you do interact.
I do have one additional question.
Okay.
What levels are these robots?
The maintenance robots are level 2, and the combat robots are level 4.
Darn. Okay.
Can I practice with the sonic disruptor?
Yeah.
While I'm here? Shot.
Yeah, up in the target range. It's pretty. There's also like an obstacle course and a workout course up there outside, for physical training and things like that. But yeah, they can accommodate any type of weapon.
Yeah, I know they got those.
In the
All right.
in the range. So,
I'm gonna practice handling.
you get the. I mean, based on what you learn, this is probably, well, there's 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 16 members of the company are out on assignment. And based on that, and the fact that you know how many were killed at the last engagement, which was 11. No, 11 just got back. So there were the 2 that were captured, and then there were 22 people there, so only half of them came back. So they've lost 11 of their 54 that are on staff. So 11 and 16, that's 30, 27. So there are 27 people here, plus you guys, at the moment.
All right, so it's more or less a skeleton staff.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom?
Yeah?
Does it seem like they get called out on jobs for like the same employer? Like if they're getting missions to for the same people? Or...
That you don't know yet.
Okay.
Can we
You
learn if there's a pattern to the? I mean, what typical type of job that they do?
Yeah, a lot of it is basically security detail. Um, that like the group that's in Point True right now, they're guarding something for somebody. They're just kind of making sure nothing goes wrong with that. Um, they get called out sometimes to, especially with their big trucks, to go pick up stuff. Um, every once in a while, there'll be somebody will find something from like before the war or after or something, and they'll get hired to go just be brute muscle to go just pick it all up, load it up, and bring it back into town. Often it'll sit in that storage area by the entrance until the people who hired them to get it will come get it. That's what they say. That's what this last one was supposed to be. They were supposed to just go. We were just supposed to go pick up. Supposedly somebody got word of a crashed ship, and they were gonna go. We got hired to go pick up the cargo and bring it in, and obviously it wasn't as crashed as they thought or something. We don't know. I mean, the people here, those that were there aren't saying much, and those that weren't on it, so they don't know that much. All they know is that they were supposed to go pick up a cargo from a downed ship, and they came home with their tail between their legs, and a lot of their buddies were killed.
Does their equipment seem to be mostly like a foreign issue? Like, I'm trying to get at this, like pan-galactic stuff, or
It is mostly pan-galactic. Yeah.
is it more than anything else would normally be? Because pan-galactic sells pretty much everything.
No, it is. I mean, considering you're on the planet that
Real
Strail is
place.
headquartered on and has invested a lot of money over the last 40 years into, it is much more predominant. I mean, it's almost exclusively pan-galactic equipment. They don't actually have a lot of Strail gear here.
Okay.
And my brother said they don't take any deliveries, so
Well, at least not from him.
You're getting their stuff from probably off planet. That's true.
Hey, are there any labels on those shipping containers that we could look at? Just the labels on, not opening them up, just kind of seeing like where things are coming from.
You mean like in the storage areas?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it's from most of it actually is from Point True. I mean, Pan-Galactic does have a presence on the planet.
Yeah.
So most of it looks like it's actually locally, sold and manufactured. It's just they prefer to buy Pan-Galactic instead of Strail. I mean, some of it obviously is from off-world, but stuff that isn't manufactured here.
All right. I'm just curious about where everything's coming from, if that gives us more. If it's just pan-galactic. Okay. It's Mirko that works with pan-galactic, or does Mirko work with Strail?
Mirko is generic
Or
for everybody. It's Galactic Task Force that works primarily with Pan-Galactic, yeah.
Okay. I don't see anything that...
No, there's nothing that seems to indicate a specific connection, at least not in the little bit you've seen so far being here for the day. A specific connection to Pan-Galactic. It just seems that the stuff that they buy from Pan-Galactic instead of from Strail for some reason.
Okay.
Whether they're getting a cut or a discount, you don't know, or if it's just a personal preference, or whatever it is. All you know is that it is mostly PGC stuff and not Strail stuff.
Okay.
How would I be able to find out who hired them for the job to pick up the down ship? That be something I ask the people? I'm asking you guys. Is that something I would ask? I don't know people skills.
I don't know.
Should I ask people or should I go on
those other guys were throwing around? Did we run into a Mac?
Did we? I don't think
He
we
was
did.
on kitchen duty. Wasn't he assigned to kitchen duty for failing? I
Yeah, we
see
haven't gone to the kitchen.
Him. That was Gary.
Gary.
No, the guys were talking about Mac hired him.
Oh, that's right. There's a different one.
Yeah,
When you did
so
the question.
The one who failed the
Actually,
mission.
I take that. No, that's a continuity error on the GM's part. It's Gary, not Mac. I forgot I
Gary,
given
not
him. I
Mac.
thought
Okay.
I forgot I gave him a name during our session, but his name is Gary now, so it was Gary, not Mac. See, that's what happened.
Mac
Okay,
is a
Mac.
nickname that those guys were using.
Yeah,
Got
maybe.
it.
Yeah, something like that. It's Gary Mac Lemert.
There you go.
I'm gonna put that in right now in my notes so I don't forget next time. All right, yeah. I'll have to figure out why that's his nickname, but that's now his nickname. His real name's Gary.
Oh, well, I thought we had like a little lead there.
No, sorry. So that's the human that you saw get blasted.
And he survived because the yeah.
The shield.
Yep.
All right. Where
All right.
else could we look for stuff here? I guess we saw him get blasted, but if he's getting blasted, he probably didn't see much of us. Maybe we should go talk to the guy in the KP duty.
You can if you want.
Yeah, I could do that. My guy would be hanging
He
out.
didn't see me at all, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see if we can get anything from him. Like talk to him.
Yeah, if he saw anybody, it was most likely Dole or Jill.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they were on top.
I'm just gonna grab the equivalent of a turkey leg and then walk in there and eat it while I'm talking to him.
Okay.
And I'll stay back. Just in case.
You know what? I'm gonna go to a computer. Is there a computer room in here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a computer room and see if I could get a log for like the entryway, the jobs that are going on, and the jobs they've done for like the past 5 days. See if I can get info,
Okay. So
data records.
I think for the most part, I'm just gonna be familiarizing myself with the robots and doing whatever I can to help them with them.
all right.
So
How about
you can ignore me for a bit.
what's Dole doing?
Dole. Eric.
Eric?
Oh, did he lose his ability to speak? We see your little icon flashing, but we're not hearing you, Eric.
Move away from the light, Eric.
But closer to the mic.
Grr. How about Jill? What is Jill gonna do?
Jill is going to probably keep to herself. She'll maybe find a quiet place to sit and listen to people talk. See if I can gather up any interesting intel.
Yeah, Eric, if you're talking, we're not hearing you at all.
No. Okay.
Okay, well, Eric's hopefully figuring out that his audio issues. So when you sit down at the computer, Cheekara, you so you can just sitting at the computer terminal. There's a computer room that you can't get into. That's where the actual computer is. Your thumbprint doesn't open that door. But there are terminals. There are terminals like one in the tech room in the garage. There's a couple in the mess hall. There's one in the conference room.
Okay, communal
Yeah,
computers.
and
Yeah.
so those ones, there's some communication programs, a little bit of databases with kind of library type materials. You have access to the planet-wide computer network, the Star Frontier's equivalent of the internet, and but beyond that, there's not much else you can access from those computers. And then the one in the tech labs have access to information like the repair manuals for all the vehicles and technical data and stuff like that.
What about tracking logs?
Yeah,
For the vehicle?
exactly. So
Okay.
I'm trying to think, what are the little books that you go and get the repair manuals for every make and model of car. You got one for each of your vehicles.
Yeah.
But they're digital.
Which one? The Haynes or the?
No, it's the other one.
Oh, what's the other one? Anyway.
And you all know what I'm talking about because you've all seen them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that the information you're looking for is behind security. If you want to try to get to that, you don't have access to it without trying to break into the security system on the computers.
Yeah. Didn't we get the codes?
No, those were just like vocal radio codes that you got.
Oh, yeah, that's right. For the community.
Which, actually, they told you.
I know. Oh, go to this frequency so we can keep in touch.
Exactly. So that was part of your orientation day too, was how to, radio protocol if you're out on a mission, and it matches up exactly with what they told you.
And amazingly, we're able to learn it really quick.
All right, so Jill was just going to be listening, and John was going to be studying. Cheekara was going to be looking at the robots, and Rennie was going to talk to Gary. So he's not very talkative. He's a little frustrated, although you do get a little bit out of him. He's actually fairly high up in the command structure of the group. He was the lead of that whole operation, and he's very upset and very bitter. He mentions a couple times if he ever figures out who those people were, because he has no idea. But you also get that impression. He has no idea who was there, who it was there, and he never really got a good look at them. He just knows it was Streel, so he mainly is cursing Streel. But you get the impression that if he ever figured out that you guys were the ones that did it, you would not want to meet him in a dark alley anytime soon, because he would definitely want his revenge.
Well, what was his impression? Like, what was he supposed to do? Is he like, all we were supposed to do is just go pick it up?
Yeah, you get that. They were expecting a crashed spaceship that they would be able to go and basically offload the stuff. There might have been some, a little bit of resistance, but they weren't expecting the level of resistance that they had, that they got. Yeah, they definitely weren't expecting the ship to be shooting back for Adam. And it basically,
They were just blindingly brilliant. That's all.
and at some level, they also were a little bit. You get the impression there's a little bit of shell shock there still from it because it happened so quickly that they took out all the ship, all the explorers. So he didn't think it was gonna. He didn't expect it to go as badly as it did. He wasn't. He wasn't expecting to get out with no casualties, especially once they found out there were active people there to resist. But he didn't expect it to be as bad as it was, and he didn't expect to not succeed in the mission.
So. Okay, I was just curious if I could get anything from them, but that actually does help a lot. That Does he like how long did they planned the mission? That was the other.
Oh,
thought. Is there
it was. They were actually doing something else, and they got a call that said go
Okay.
here.
So
it was very.
like,
It was supposed to be a low risk, high pay, quick job,
okay.
and it completely inverted on them.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly. So, and Jill gets that the general demeanor of the company is down right now. They're a little, this was kind of a blow to them to lose that many people.
Yeah.
And so, beyond that, it sounds like mostly what they do is fairly routine stuff. There's not a lot of you get the impression they do get into fights occasionally, but that's not their primary type of job. They typically are escort or transport, and occasionally, basic security details. Rarely do they have to go in and fight their way in or out of something. They're all trained at some level to do that if they need to, but that's not what they normally do.
Do I get a sense of the type of organization it is? For example, would they fire upon people without provocation?
No, you get the impression that not really, unless they will hire out for a raid if they need to, but they say you get the impression that Cassandra's pretty careful about those kind of jobs that she takes. That for the most part they're on the up and up. They're not like a pirate band or something like that. They are hired guns and they will go in and do that kind of stuff, but
Nobody with a peg leg walking around.
yeah, no, she's pretty selective about the type of those kind of jobs she takes.
So someone was taking advantage of her in hiring the company for this job.
Yeah. It seems like they were told it was just a down ship.
Yeah.
So it's not these people that shot it down.
Yeah. You also throughout the day, you get the impression that they're more willing, or Cassandra at least is more willing to take those kind of jobs if they're against Striel.
She's got a vendetta.
And so nobody actually says that, but you just get, as you start talking to people about the kind of things that they do and what comes up, you kind of get that general impression that for the most part it's guard duty and escort duty, and they don't fire the first shot if somebody starts shooting at them, they'll shoot back. But they will take raid type jobs if it's against other people that are known to be troublemakers, or if it's against a Striel target. They'll be more
okay.
willing to take those kind of jobs. Or
Quick
she will be
question.
more willing to take those kind of jobs. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Stu.
Timeline question. What's the? I have to ask this, but it was like 4 sessions ago. What's the timeline with Laco's war compared to where we are now?
It is ongoing.
Okay.
Although it's in the later stages at this point. It's kind of in the wrap-up stage. Striel is leaving, and PGC has control of the planet for the most part.
Is there any way that we'd be able to tell if anybody had like a, I don't know, Laco accents?
Probably not yet.
Okay. Just curious. I'm just wondering if there's something that way involved.
Yeah.
All right.
Not that you can tell at
Anything
this point. Let's see, what else was I going to tell you guys based on what you were doing? I think that about covers what you can learn the first day.
Okay.
That's actually a lot for one day.
Yeah.
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 Well,
Not bad.
I mean, I assume that's everything you guys, after in the evening, you guys get together and chat and compare notes
Yeah.
and you've all been talking to different people all day long, so you've had an opportunity to find out, and they're not like trying to hide what they do. I mean, it's what they do. It's their job. They talk about it. They tell you
They're
what's
not embarrassed.
yeah,
They don't
you
feel
know. So you're able to piece that together. You also get the impression that Cassandra is fairly involved with the group, and you see her multiple times throughout the day. She'll come in and talk to people and that, and I wouldn't say it's a personality cult type following, but they definitely respect her and look up to her, and she seems to know what she's doing. She's not just a pretty figurehead. She seems to be the one running the show. So
Honestly, guys, I'm thinking we may not need to raid this place. I think our real target is whoever hired her.
Yeah.
They probably knew that she wouldn't do too much questioning if it was a Striel target.
Or they knew that she's anti-Striel and use her as a dummy.
I mean, because that kind of information, I mean, that kind of pattern would eventually emerge for people that do the hiring of such companies. So I think working here for a little bit is a good thing. And we just keep our ears out for any indication of who hired them for that job.
You gotta get into those computers.
Hey,
If you can find
did we save any of those cameras?
which camera.
The video
yes, she
camera?
went back and got them.
Oh yeah, those were.
Nobody pays attention to a robot. Do you think we can install one of our cameras on a robot? If it happens,
Brilliant.
going around in some of those areas, maybe we'll pick
Like
up.
one of the maintenance robots?
Yeah. I mean, we've got finally somebody who actually knows what they're doing with robots.
Yeah, well, I have a level 2 skill. The maintenance robots are level 2.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so we're going to stop right here for, we'll say it is basically evening. Dinner's over. You've you guys have been oriented. You can go back to your bunks, or whatever. You guys can spend the next 2 weeks before we play again, deciding what you want to do next. Discuss in the chat here. But we're gonna wrap up for tonight. And end there. So I think that went pretty well.
Yeah,
I think we just
a
get
lot of
those
fun.
started. Some stuff.
Hopefully everybody got to do something interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't
right
get shot
I
this
got to
time.
see my bro. That was cool.
Yeah. And that meant you didn't have to sleep on the floor.
Exactly.
That worked for me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was good. Is there anything you need from us, Tom?
No. I'll keep track. I'll monitor what you guys discuss here, and you can ask me questions, and I'll try to answer them.
Okay.
And I will keep working on the details of the mercenary company,
Okay. All right.
and I'll have a map for you of the area
Or the base.
of
Okay.
the base. I actually have it mostly done. I just have to do the part outside the cave. But
Yeah, if we had a map, we could do some planning there.
I sketched it up the other day, so I just need to make sure that I don't have it here in front of me. And so everything I was describing was going by memory, and so I'll just double check make sure the map matches the things I described to you guys, and then I'll post it. I'll post it here in the Discord channel.
Okay. We could do that.
Quick question.
Okay.
That list of stuff I wanted to get for Explorer. Do they have some of that stuff in their storage area so that way I could just sort of put it in our Explorer and then just go
Probably.
to the computer and erase it from their storage list?
Let's see, where is your list at?
He hates Strill. We like Strill. So you know what? I don't mind.
Yeah, but
Strill.
let's not get in trouble too soon.
No, not right now, but I want to know if I could, just like a fire extinguisher for now. No, flashlight.
Yeah.
Build up.
Yeah, we
But-
can probably get some of that stuff. You can probably get
We
some
we
of that
already
stuff.
killed 11 of their guys. A little factory.
The answer is Strill. We're Strill. Let's not forget that.
What you talking about? I'm a merc.
Do we have to be?
Well,
If these people pay better and they're
don't.
not inherently evil,
I wouldn't say they pay better. I'd say that double dipping is better than just a single paycheck.
Yeah, I agree with that.
to be sure.
Yeah, I'll look over that list and
Okay.
see what you can requisition once you're here.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. If you can requisition some of this stuff above boards, that's even better.
Well, let's give it a try.
Okay.
Because I mean, it wasn't like I was taking a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, no, most of at least the smaller stuff wouldn't be an issue at all.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we'll call it a night, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
All right.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right.
Thanks, guys. See ya.